Oh, they fell. Just put them down here. Just gonna let them out in the to sort of get stronger. Oops, these ones are so leggy. All right, there's a little bit more. Just there's some here, Gracie. You can go there. This way we're not going to stand on them.
I've never seen a 4-leaf tree. Got the last three.
The last one's kind of big. I might have to get it.
What one do we want to transplant?
Well, we've got to let them get used to being outside, used to the weather, and then maybe in a couple of days we can do that. Morning, girls. Oh, really, old man? Really? You've been fed. Yes, I know you've been fed. And you, miss? It's always you, isn't it? Huh? You're always the one out. I'm not even sure. We've clipped your wings. How are you doing it? Don't know. The birds are out in full force. They do not mind the mugginess. But I wanted to say thank you for the beautiful response I received to the last 2 videos that were really just, you know, a review of our last 12 months here. It was just an outpouring of kindness, and I really appreciated it. It was really nice. So thank you. I do also want to just apologize. The first one I did, which was called Our First 12 Months in America, for some reason the comments kept disabling, and I haven't really got to the bottom of what happened. I put out, like I got on a live chat, put out a request to YouTube to find out why, because sometimes that will happen if you have, I don't know, breached some of their guidelines or something, but from what I can see I hadn't. And there was no restrictions listed on the video, but it kept disabling the comments, which was really annoying, and I know it frustrated some of you. I'm really sorry. I had some people reach out on some other videos and let me know what was happening. I actually had to turn them back on 3 times before it stopped turning off, so I'm so sorry. I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, I think they're on now. But yes, I do just appreciate the lovely feedback. It was so encouraging because it is, like, to be honest, you know, it's a vulnerable thing to put yourself out there and tell your story. So I certainly was very nervous about that when I first started this channel in October, and I guess you just take a risk, but it's just been a very lovely experience in all aspects. There hasn't been, other than me getting over my own insecurities, it has just been great. So I appreciate that. And you know, I did spend a lot of time working on that, especially the particularly the first one, which had all the photos. Last week I went through, spent a long time going through photos and videos of the last 12 months, and just, you know, I cried a lot. Yeah, it's just pretty full on when you look at what has happened. But I was thinking about that even of itself. The memories are a gift. And, you know, I had my first really true experience of this when my dad passed away in 2020. And, you know, there is the grieving that happens, but then there's also afterwards, I wrote about it on my blog. I kind of called it like the golden longing of memory, and really what a gift that is. Like, those memories that I have of my dad, I will never lose. Like, they can never be taken away. And even though we're physically separated right now for a time, the memories are a gift. The memories of my other loved ones back in Australia. It's the same thing. When I was looking back at that video, I thought, you know, those are beautiful memories that I have with my brothers and with our friends, and the memories with my mum when we were all younger. And like those can never be taken away, and that is a gift. So memory is a beautiful thing. Yes, it sometimes makes you cry. Yes, it sometimes makes you sigh. But that's okay, it's still a gift. It's still a beautiful thing. Now, I understand there are traumatic memories, and I have a few of those too. But that's okay. Like there's the good and the bad, and we can choose which ones to dwell on, I suppose. That's the way I look at it anyway. So, I have enjoyed my golden memories as I mused over them, and thank you for sharing that with me. So this week, I am pumped. I am excited. It is what they call here spring break. So our friends back in Australia are all having their Easter holidays. This is Easter Monday. It is, we've had a beautiful weekend celebrating. So it's spring break here. So we have a week off school, which that is another fun fact, interesting thing that I have learned about America, is that the schools take their breaks all at different times. So although in Australia, all the schools right now are on Easter holidays, they call it. It's 2 weeks, and it may vary by like starting a day or two later if you're in a different state. But, or if private and public schools, sometimes private schools get, you know, a wee bit longer. But basically all the schools are on the same schedule. Here, spring break has been taken at all different times. A few schools here in our area took it a few weeks ago, and then some schools it's this week, and so it seems to vary a lot, and I guess the school decides. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I think the school decides. So anyway, we are having our spring break, which is just a week, but we're going to focus on getting these gardens established. So I've got plants that are begging to go in the ground. So hardening them off is my next port of call. I wanted to show you, look at these beautiful, they're just coming out. Now, unfortunately, the puppies have trampled a bunch of them. These were all lovely, and then the puppies decided to chase each other and roll around in them, which is a pain, but so pretty, all coming out. So these beautiful purple flowers, can someone help me identify them? They look like an iris maybe to me, but I'm definitely not an expert on flowers. Look how beautiful. They're just so vibrant. I'm really excited because there was some white ones that were coming out, and I thought these were all going to be white, which is nice too, but these are just this beautiful, vibrant, rich purple. So pretty. And the roses are continuing to just burst forth, which I'll show you. These ones down here have probably got the most on them right now. They're just lovely, and they're about to just go bananas, you can see all over the top, but this one's got quite a few on it, and this one is just exploding with color, which is so nice. Just beautiful. This one still hasn't, it's got the buds. This is the one I'm really excited for, that was so pretty last year. Okay, so these are all my little seedlings that I've just brought out today to start hardening off. And they really, like, to me, are like looking desperate. They're begging, put me in the garden. So, but I figured I better. Some of them have been in the mudroom, which is not sealed, and so they are probably a little bit more adjusted to temperatures than the ones that were inside. So I'll bring them out today, and maybe bring them out tomorrow. I don't know, I haven't had to do this before. So if anyone has advice on how many days I need to harden off, but it's like today's gonna get to 86. It's not cold at all. you know, which is not super hot either. I think that's around, I'll have to look that up. I think that's around 25, 28 Celsius. So I don't know how many days I need to keep bringing them out here, but to me, they're looking like ready, overly ready. So we've got to finish these beds. This one has the soil. I've got to mulch that. Super windy, sorry. Mulch that and put soil on this one. And then we'll be able to start planting into those. This hugelkultur bed is ready for a top layer of soil, and then we'll be able to plant into that one. The boys have just been building this extra one out of scraps we found laying around. So they're going to cut these off and finish building it. It's not finished yet. And then we'll build it up as a hugelkultur bed. So that one's a little bit more further off. But I was saying to my boys this morning, I think I'm going to have to build another bed. So the potatoes are all down here. Along that fence line, I'm going to grow tomatoes. And along the other ones, more tomatoes. I have quite a lot of those that I want to be able to grow and preserve. Hey, sweetie. Ugh. But I was looking at it and I was thinking, where am I going to put my beans and cucumbers? Because they need something to grow up. And I think I might be able to put a few in between the tomatoes. But I think I need more space. So I'm going to put like right here, build another no-dig garden. And I've got some cattle panels you can see laying over there on the ground. And I might make some archways, whatever you call those things, over the bed to grow beans and cucumbers. Because I don't really want to put them in the raised beds because they're going to be too high. So yeah, we might scatter a few along the fence line, but I think I need another bed for my beans. So that's got to be done this week too. All right, we've got a load of mulch, little man and I, so we're going to unload it right here. Before we start, I wanted to address a question I received on one of my other videos. I think it was a video about rebuilding the soil with mulch. And the question was posed, do you think, basically to this effect, why are you spending so much time rebuilding the soil and working on this property when you're renting and you don't know if it's a long-term thing? Which is a fair question. We are renting. Now, it is true we're renting from family, which I think adds another dynamic, but we have no guarantee of how long we'll be on this property. We really don't know. There are no guarantees. We do not own it. So that is a fair question. But our philosophy, I suppose, our approach is the same here as what it was on the place we were renting in Australia. And that is, we are going to go ahead and do everything we can with this property to make it the best we possibly can, to make it the most fruitful, to do whatever we can to heal this little patch of land, to regenerate it. And if we don't reap the fruit of that, someone will. And if we're sowing into the land the love and care it needs, and someone else ends up reaping the benefit, we're okay with that. We're learning in the process. So none of this is lost. This is very much still our classroom. As Jess says, we are learning as we go. So there is no, to me, it's a win-win. If we stay here and reap the benefits of all this hard work, awesome. If we don't, if we move to another property and all of this work is then done and someone else reaps the reward, we're okay with that too. We're blessing whoever else is next, and we're blessing the land, and we're, I guess, just stewarding it the way we feel we ought to. So that's our philosophy. That's what we did in Australia. We did so much work on the property we had there, hours and hours of work, and built the gardens up, and then we left and someone else is there now and reaping, like, they're eating the bananas we planted, which is totally fine. We've had friends send us photos of the garden that, you know, they drive past and take photos or whatever, and it's actually really gratifying to know, hey, I did all that hard work, and someone somewhere is eating those bananas. Someone somewhere is harvesting that fruit, or that soil has healed, you know. So I don't see it as a loss or a risk. I see it as a win-win. So we got this one done. The other one will have to wait till later. Okay, I'm just going to prune back this wisteria. The kids have sort of made, that's the cardboards from the kids building a little cubby house in there, but which I still will let them do. But one of the ways we just managed snakes back in Australia, where we do have a lot of dangerous snakes, is just to keep areas kind of cleared from little hidey holes that snakes like. So I think I'm going to prune back some of this, and I can put the cuttings into the hugelkultur bed, and it might just make this a little bit more snake safe, kitty safe I should say, to play there during the summer. Okay, so I've pruned it back a little, but I'm actually finding some of those pieces are too thick for these little secateurs that I have. So I think what I need to do is get one of my big boys to come back with some more hefty pruners and get some of that undergrowth there. Just to clear out the understory is more what I'm worried about, where snakes could hide. So might be a job for tomorrow. Okay, well, that's about a wrap for today. I've got to run and take my boys to work and run a few errands. So got a little bit done today. I'm happy with that, and we'll just keep plodding away and see how that goes. I wanted to also just mention it is the 1st of April today, and I have set myself a little challenge, just a personal goal, that I'm going to try and post a video every day for the month of April. Feels a little bit like a big goal. I don't know if I'm going to reach it. I'm going to try. So some of them will be vlogs, some recipes, and just hoping to see a lot of growth in the garden, honestly, this month as we get planting and as that happens. So we'll see how we go, but that is my goal. So I'm putting it out here because now I have to be accountable that I have set that for myself. So we'll see how we go, but that is what I'm going to aim for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.